Greetings, my fellow mortals. I am back again with another album review, and we are reviewing the new Witch Vomit album, Funeral Sanctum. Witch Vomit is a death metal band from Portland, Oregon that has been around since 2012. When they formed that year, they would release their first and only demo titled Drowned in Filth. 2 years later, in 2014, they would release their debut EP, The Webs of Horror. Both of these releases would be put out through the label Headsplit Records. 1 year later, in 2015, they would release a single, and then in 2016, they would release their debut album titled A Scream from the Tomb Below. This album would be released through the label Memento Mori. Sometime after the release of their first album, they would leave Memento Mori and they would officially join 20 Buck Spin and would release their second EP, Poison Blood, through the label. In 2019, they would release their second album titled Buried Deep in a Bottomless Grave. This would be their first official album released through 20 Buck Spin. 2 years later, in 2021, they would release their third EP, Abhorrent Rapture, another release through 20 Buck Spin. Then this year, they would release two singles, Blood of Abomination and Black Wings of Desolation. All those two singles are off of the new album right here, which is where we are right now. This is their third full-length studio album and their first official album since 2019, so their first album in 5 years. Much like all the other releases, this was released through 20 Buck Spin, which has a really solid lineup of death metal bands. If you were to ask me which death metal album am I looking forward to the most, it would be this one. Now, this album is not coming out until tomorrow, April 5th. However, 20 Buck Spin was able to upload the album to their YouTube channel to get people to listen to the album early. So I saw that and I gave it a listen, and it is so damn good. This album right here is just straight up old school death metal, and I love it. I think it has a little bit of some brutal death metal, but overall, this is just like old school death metal. My favorite tracks would have to be Endless Fall, Blood of Abomination, yeah, no shit, I heard that when it was released as a single on Spotify. Decaying Angelic Flesh, Black Wings of Desolation, I also heard that as a single, so I obviously... and Dominion of a Darkened Realm. My highlight tracks on this album would have to be Serpentine Shadows and the title track, Funeral Sanctum. And honestly, there are no songs on here that I hate or I consider my least favorite. Every single track on here is just, spot on. In short, this is their best work yet. From the riffs, to the vocals, to the atmosphere of it. This is definitely one of my favorite death metal albums this year. Which is why I'm going to rate this album a 10 out of 10. This is the best death metal album that I've heard this year. This is my favorite death metal album this year. Definitely gonna be on my end of year death metal list. But that's just how I feel about the new Witch Vomit album, Funeral Sanctum. Go give it a listen on 20 Buck Spin's YouTube channel. Or if you want to wait until the album officially comes out, it is coming out tomorrow through 20 Buck Spin. It'll be available on every format, every physical format, from cassettes, CDs, and vinyls. I'm going to be pre-ordering a vinyl soon, or buying a vinyl or whatever. But, go check this album out on YouTube, and, be sure to check the album out tomorrow. And that's about it. That's the end of this review. Till then, my fellow mortals.